Yeah, so going on now, 22, 23. So now we're looking at 2017, 2018. Friend group is starting to decrease. People move away, people go to jail. So unfortunately, some people pass away. So now we're kind of like at this part, we're at this junction where it's like, my life is going in the right direction, but there's still things in the past that are like pulling me back. So I definitely have a lot of issues with, friends and relationships and just getting my life together. And I did graduate high school while I was on probation. That's another thing I didn't mention. So starting to get my life on track. I had to go to night school. Terrible people there. I mean, these are hardcore criminals. Some of them are even some of those people in that class are actually now in jail for murder, or even had committed murders while they were sitting next to me in class and no one even knew. And I actually, to this day, there's a lot of things that I don't talk about, and we kind of leave that in the past. But here we are today, so now I said 2018. Now we're in again. Now I'm working. At this point, got a promotion at work. Still working at the kitchen I was working at, but now I'm out of the dish room, and now they got me making desserts and stuff. Eventually I would get promoted to a line cook, so I started working my way up there. Doing better for myself. Got another car, got my license, so still hanging out with some of those people, but these are the people that I was talking about that aren't like bad, like they're not into the hood stuff and committing crimes. Like, these are the people that definitely a lot better head on themselves. But I think this is really when I decided to, I think that made this transition now. 2018, 2019. It started to transition. Now I kind of started taking on doing like Uber, and I think that that's when really all of it kind of dissipated. I think the last incident in those days I recall was one night when I was doing Uber in 2019 early, when this guy approached me about 3 o'clock in the morning, banging on my window, demanding money, and I literally pulled a BB gun out. I used to carry a BB gun, which is the stupidest thing, and pointed it right at his face, and I scared the lights out of this man, and that was it. He walked away. This was over on the west end of Bridgeport, and that was it. After that, I stopped with all that stupid stuff. I just committed to working, doing the Uber, working as the cook that I was the place I was working at, and I just put all my time into that. The only thing I think I did was here and there I popped a Ativan and smoked weed and drank occasionally. And I started focusing on that. I got into school. I started did this all on my own. I had to actually go take the SATs. So I never did any of this in high school. So I had to take the SATs. I was 23, 24, and then sitting with a bunch of teenagers. Doesn't matter, I took it, did pretty well in certain aspects. I went to UConn. I spent 2 years at UConn, and then I would transfer to Arizona State, and eventually I graduated in BA in history with the minor in business and poli-sci. So, I think I went through this journey, and at this point now, 2023, 2024, I started my own business, landscaping and home improvement. So, we started, I got some guys together, my brother, just, started getting some pretty good customers, and the business took off. And it became a full-time job, and I've been running that since then. I started some startups, vacatsafe.com, and another startup, Bitcoin Crypt, which is I'm trying to kind of mold that into a consulting firm. I want to consult people on what I'm passionate about, cryptocurrency, technologies, and how to integrate artificial intelligence into business. I also have my own kind of conglomerate, so I'm merging all of my ventures together. It's Ramírez-Skudlarek Ventures.com. That's the site. I'm also kind of like branding myself, so I'm working on a lot of projects. Since I've left my job at cooking, so now I kind of spend a lot of time between working at my business, working on my business ventures. Occasionally go back on the road and do Uber. Kind of gets your head out. Just go out there and spend time alone, get away from all the mess. I'm looking now, hopefully try to start a career after I get married. Maybe move out to, Miami's a great place. Been there. I actually own 2 acres of land on outside of Lake Wales. Prime citrus farming land. So I've done a lot since my years of being in trouble. I've put all that behind me, and I've lost almost all of my friends, but it's for the best. Most of those people in the past, they put me into situations that could have turned my life down the drain in a matter of seconds, and it's imperative that things went the way they did today, because I wouldn't be the person I am today without the experiences and without the mindset that I've been able to craft for myself. So now in 2025, moving on to 2026, again, I'm grateful for the freedom. I'm grateful for, being in good health. I'm grateful for the things that I've learned, the experiences, the people that I still have in my life. And, I'm just looking to, expand and, hopefully by the time I'm 40 years old, I shouldn't say hopefully, I will. By the time I'm 40 years old, be in a state where I can retire. And that is what I'm looking for. I look back, and hopefully when I'm 40, I can look back 20 years ago and say I went from nearly being in prison to being a millionaire, and that's what I aspire to do. So, and at that point, I just want to help other people who are in my situation, because it's very difficult to be staring, when you're standing there with handcuffs on, you're looking up at a judge, and he could say, well, you can go home, or you're going to go to prison for the next 5 years. And I think that there are a lot of people out there that can benefit from coaching. There are a lot of people that can benefit from, getting the right advice and the right mentors in life. Of course, there's people that can't be saved. I've met them. There's people that are just cold-hearted and they're like straight-up murderers. I get that. But there are a lot of good people that just get wrapped up in the system, and they can be saved and they can be helped. And that's what I aspire to do once I can retire and care for myself and my family. So yeah, I hope that everyone's kind of enjoyed the story, and I know it's a lot. There's a lot of things I've left out, and a lot more to talk about, but we'll save that for another day, and hopefully in the future we can kind of break this down, and maybe even I could put a book out about every intrinsic little detail that kind of went on in those years. But yeah, till next time, and I hope everyone's doing well, and take care of yourselves.